Hi, I'm Anime Jane, and today we're stepping into a world of shadows and secrets, magic and madness. You guessed it. It's Lord of Mysteries, a Chinese animated series based on the popular web novel by Cuttlefish that loves diving. It blends supernatural mystery with a historical fantasy setting and is currently streaming on Crunchyroll and Prime with English subtitles available. We're starting with the basics, the world, the characters, the tarot system, and just enough mystery to hook the inner detective in you. But first, let's pull a card, and it's the Fool. Of course it is. Everything begins with the Fool. Okay, let's dive in. The story of Lord of Mysteries is set in a world that resembles late 19th century Europe. With industrialization, steam power, and early science coexisting with a hidden layer of supernatural forces, this world contains a complex mystical framework governed by ancient powers, secret organizations, and esoteric knowledge. The protagonist is Zhou Mingrui, a modern-day young adult who awakens to find himself inhabiting the body of Klein Moretti, a recently deceased university graduate in the city of Tingen. The circumstances of Klein's death, a self-inflicted gunshot, remain unexplained. Zhou, or Klein, begins to experience a gradual strain between his mind and the forces he's interacting with. The cost of traversing hidden realms and confronting occult truths. As he investigates the events surrounding Klein's death, he becomes involved with the Nighthawks, a covert group that monitors and manages supernatural incidents. To join them, he undergoes a dangerous transformation by consuming a magical potion, marking the beginning of his journey as a Beyonder. Simultaneously, he discovers a mysterious ritual space located beyond the physical world, where he assumes the identity of the Fool. There, he encounters two other individuals, Audrey Hall and Alger Wilson, who take on the identities of Justice and the Hanged Man. Together, they form what will become known as the Tarot Club for interpreting events and sharing information. The world of Lord of Mysteries draws symbolic influence from the real-world tarot, a deck traditionally used for fortune-telling, with 22 major arcana cards representing universal archetypes and psychological states. In the series, many characters adopt these names directly as titles, while others choose to keep their true identities more guarded. The actual power system centers around what's called the 22 paths, each loosely corresponding to a tarot archetype. As a character consumes specially prepared potions, they advance along their path, gaining unique abilities tied to that archetype. These paths are made up of ranked stages known as sequences, beginning at sequence 9 and ascending toward sequence 0. Occult practices and divination are central to how characters interact with the world of Lord of Mysteries. Klein's association with the Fool card reflects both his position in the narrative and the nature of his development. He is the Fool, through and through. But his connection to that card and the deeper significance of each member's role within the Tarot Club is something we'll explore more fully in a later video. Beyond the trio of the Tarot Club, there's other characters like Dunn Smith, leader of the Nighthawks, Daly Simone, one of the few female Beyonders in the organisation, Leonard Mitchell, a fellow Nighthawk, who is haunted by an entity within him. I don't know about you, but I've really enjoyed the characters so far. Each one feels deliberately written in, with just enough mystery and style to keep you curious. It's a strong introduction, and it sets the tone for something super deep. After awakening in Klein's body, Zhou Mingrui begins to uncover the existence of Beyonders, individuals who gain supernatural abilities by advancing through specific mystical paths using alchemical potions. His initiation into the seer pathway comes under the guidance of the Nighthawks, a secretive branch of the Church of the Evernight Goddess. Just a heads up. The seer, while not directly part of the tarot, is often connected to the High Priestess card. Klein is still the Fool in terms of his symbolic role, But through the potion he takes, he acquires the powers associated with the seer pathway. As he progresses, each potion he consumes will unlock new abilities, but will also require increasing self-knowledge and mental resilience. The process also involves understanding its symbolism and integrating that understanding into the self. The Nighthawks are one of several organizations tasked with managing and suppressing supernatural threats. They operate with structure and protocol, but the psychological and spiritual strain on their members is immediately evident. Klein's first few missions alongside the Nighthawks involve cases tied to an ancient diary, believed to have belonged to Roselle Gustav, a historical emperor and powerful beyonder. The diary is said to contain both mystical knowledge and traces of beyonder characteristics, a kind of metaphysical residue that can influence or empower the reader. Its contents are central to Klein's early investigations and may hold deeper implications for the structure of the world itself. This same notebook draws the attention of a group introduced in Episode 3, the Secret Order. Founded by the Zaratul family after the Four Emperors' War, the Order has long operated in the shadows, seeking artifacts tied to the Fool pathway. The group's connection to the notebook suggests it may serve as more than just a historical document, possibly as a catalyst for spiritual advancement or a link to forbidden knowledge. Their appearance marks the beginning of a larger conflict over the control of occult information. Other factions are gradually introduced through brief encounters and background details. The Church of the Storm, associated with the sea and authority, and the Church of the God of Steam and Machinery, which blends industry with faith, both appear to hold political and mystical influence. The Tarot Club is accessed through a ritual Klein performs early in the story, a process that opens a world which appears to exist outside of conventional time and space. It's not physically real, yet it functions as a consistent meeting point between Klein and a growing circle of other beyonders. The nature of this place is still unclear, even to Klein. It seems to be tied to his mind or spiritual domain. Outside the Tarot Club, there are moments that suggest beyonders can affect reality in ways that aren't always visible to everyone. This implies that some things created or influenced by beyonders depend on the viewer's mental or spiritual state. It's a subtle idea, but it comes up in the story. These first episodes offer no easy answers. Instead, they introduce systems and structures that will gradually unfold before us. Phew! Well, that's all for today, folks. If you're digging this show as much as I am, be sure to like the video and subscribe for our next deep dive. We've only just touched the surface. In the next video, we'll be taking a closer look at the occult structure behind the series, from the design of the tarot within the narrative, the symbolism hidden in the sequences, and the broader, dare I say, Lovecraftian cosmology of this world. Until then, thanks for watching. Stay curious, and remember, every path has its price and prizes.